Hey everyone, welcome to the second session of Aulysius Corner, where we're looking at answering some of the hot questions on the Money.com community forum. My name is Rashil, and I'm a customer success manager for Aulysius, which is a platinum partner of Money.com. And without any further ado, let's have a look at some of the topics that we'll be looking at today. So we'll be looking at, first of all, how to create a masterboard that connects to the boards that different members are using to plan their daily tasks. Second, we'll be looking at how to use a version of an or statement, which is currently not possible to use on Monday, and how to still achieve your goals in a simple automation without necessarily using an or statement. Third, we'll also be looking at creating a relevant Gantt chart that shows you tasks that have not yet been completed, instead of showing you all the tasks, including the done tasks. Fourth, we'll look at how to create a Kanban chart, or rather Kanban view, that would allow you to see tasks that are managed by different people. So we have a different Kanban for each team member. And finally, we'll also be looking at how to use Monday.com to satisfy all of the communication needs that you might have, including speaking to suppliers and clients, external guests, in a way that vastly reduces the need to use emails. So without any further ado, let's begin. The first question reads, "Hi, I manage a team of designers. Each has their own personal workboard. I've been asked for all of their work to appear on one master team board. Is this possible?" And yes, the answer is yes. And I'll show you two ways in which this is possible. So I'll open up Monday.com. And here we've got a dashboard that connects to two team members' boards. And of course, upon creating the dashboard, you have to select which team members' boards you want to be included on the dashboard chart. And here I've added a table widget. So if you click on plus add widget, more, and select the table widget, that will give you team members 1 entire board, as well as team members 2 entire board, with all the groups, all the items. And as you can see here, team member 1, I've assigned it to myself. So all of the tasks here would be mine. And team member 2 with my colleague Oliver. And we can already see how this could be a potential way of seeing all of your team members' tasks as a manager, senior manager, in one place. Also, you can filter by people quickly. So imagine you had a group of 20 different people, and you could easily filter out the people whose tasks you want to see at a glance. And the filter is quite powerful as well. So for example, here for team member 1, what I can do is I can say where date is next week. I can also do the same for team member 2 and say where date is next week. Of course, here we've got no tasks that are next week. So just to show you what it would look like with actual tasks, I can say, for example, tasks that would be set for this particular month for team 2, and the same with team 1. And as you can see, it has filtered it according to the specifications that I inputted. So it's a great way of not only showing or displaying all of your team members' tasks at once, but you can also make some changes here For example, writing updates, comments, and adding files, tagging teams, and all that. So you can even change statuses and all that here, and timelines, dates as you wish. So super cool solution for the question that was asked. The next solution would be to use what's called Monday Portfolio. And this is a feature that's been recently released across many.com clients. And today we'll be looking at, if I'm not mistaken, this is available for Pro and Enterprise accounts. And here, all I've had to do was to add portfolio, and it displays this page to me. And I can add a project. So here I can add a team member 1. So a project is a board. And as you can see, it will display incredibly that board as a row. And not only that, it will take all of the tasks that were from that board and also show you the progress according to how many items are done, working on it, and stuck. It also shows you the timeline for all of the tasks. So all of the tasks for team member 1 were ranging from the 1st to 31st of July, and it shows you a timeline of how far along you are to reach the due dates for this project. Inside of this, you can also see, of course, all of the tasks in the form of a battery widget, as well as a Gantt chart where you can see all of the items, the dates, and all that, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely a great way of seeing overall view of what's going on inside the different projects. You can also add updates for the projects inside of that row. So of course I can do the same thing with team project 2, team member 2, and add it as a project. And upon addition, it will ask you to map certain columns. So I want my status column to be project progress in terms of a battery widget here. And we've got the timeline as actual timeline, that's fine. And here we go. You can also add, and there we go, we've got this master kind of view here. And on top of that, what we can do is to add entirely new projects. So here, if I add a new project and I call it team member 3, let's say for a new joiner, and I click on create project, here we go, and it will automatically create that board as well for us. And all the changes that we make on that board will show on our main portfolio board. Of course, we can have a general Gantt chart as well for all of the different projects. So this is a very high level view of things. And speaking of the highest level view of things, we've got the snapshot view that will tell us different details about how many of our projects are on track, at risk, and off track. Here, of course, it would require some of the projects to be filled in terms of the comparison between planned and actual timeline. So we've got here planned timeline and actual timeline, and it will be able to tell you how many of those projects are off track, at risk, or on track based on that. And it will also show you the different widgets associated with this project inside of those cards. So for example, the project progress might be one of them. Of course, it would take some filling out to do first for the cards to show all of this, especially when it comes to the planned versus actual timeline. And then it will display the battery widgets as well on the card. Excellent. So that answers the first question. 2 solutions for that one question. Amazing. So our second question now looks at an or statement. So of course, Monday does not have an or statement per se. It does have the and only if, but it doesn't have the or statement per se. And an example of that is given in this question, the last part of which says they want an automation that goes like, if column 1 is X or Y or Z, then change column 2 to whatever. So there's two parts for an automation, the trigger and the action. And where the person here wants for there to be an or statement is in the trigger. And the trigger is this: if column 1 is X, Y, or Z. But this can be achieved by using this kind of automation here. So here, again, looking at the trigger, when something happens, you can then state, right? For example, right, if I wanted to say, if the status is working on it or stuck, then notify me as the manager. But there is no or function. So ideally, you would have said, if the status is working on it or stuck, then notify me. But there is a very simple way of doing the same thing, and it's not necessarily called or. Here, I'm going to add it here. You can just say when status changes to anything, and provided that the status is so working on it or stuck, right? So instead of using the or function, you can use is not by clicking on the is. So, and only if status is not done. And that covers working on it, that covers stuck. Now, I do understand that there might be more values, so more statuses. And for example, if you had 5 different statuses and you wanted to have an or function for 3 of them, you couldn't necessarily use the is not functionality here, because it wouldn't take into account the right statuses here, in which case you might have to have different automations for each status. However, in most cases where I've seen some of the customers wanting this or functionality, that is not function most likely, most of the time, satisfies that need. So let's test it out, shall we? So here, if I go to my board and I change item 1 here, well, from working on it to stuck. So remember, if it's either one of these two, working on it or stuck, I should receive a notification. So let's check. And here we go. I've received my notification. Hey, item 1 from board 1 is now stuck. Please review. Perfect. And if I change it to done, it shouldn't give me a notification. And as we can see, I have not received a notification. So the requirement is then satisfied in our context. Thanks. Let's have a look at the next question. Our third question regards Gantt charts. And here it reads, hello, I want to see a crisp Gantt chart view of all open tasks across all connected boards. But my Gantt chart shows all tasks, even the completed ones, dating back months, and it comes in chronological order. So here I can already picture that the user will see at the top of the Gantt chart all of the items, all of the tasks from previous days that are done. And of course, they don't want to see the done tasks as part of their view. And this can very easily be dealt with. There's two ways. First, and that's the most obvious way of doing it, would be so we've got two boards here connected to a dashboard on which there is a Gantt chart widget. And on each board, I've got a couple of done tasks with dates before the ones that are currently being worked on or stuck. So we've got 12th and 13th of July for done, and 15th to the 19th of July for working on it stuck, similar to the person who was asking the question had on their board. So here, what I can do is, of course, use a filter. So I can say, so I've added some of the labels. Went to the settings of the Gantt chart and added labels next to the items, timelines. And I can see already, like the person mentioned, board 1, board 2, I can see that the top items are the done items. And the next ones are working on it, stuck, and other items. Here you go, working on it and stuck. And what I can do is, of course, that's the easiest way. So I filter for board 1. I say where status is not done. And I can do the same thing with board 2, where status is not done. So I can see all of my items which are currently being worked on. The second way of doing it, so I've got two boards here again in a similar format. And I click on my dashboard, the Gantt chart. So I said similar. The boards are not in the same format here. We've got two groups. So instead of being called group 1 and group 2, I have separated the done items, the items with status done, into a separate group called done group. In fact, you can even automate this anytime a status changes to done and move it to a group called done. This way, if I go to my Gantt chart and I go to my settings, I can scroll down, completely down, choose groups, and I can select all groups. I can select the top group only, or select only the groups that I want to be shown. So here I have disabled done group, and as you can see, and I've added some labels as well. I've added some labels as well to the different timelines, such that I can also, so I've added the status label here, so working on it, stuck next to the timelines. By choosing the groups that I want to see and not picking the ones that I don't want to see, which is done in this case, I can have the same results as the one that was on the first solution. Although the easiest way of removing the done tasks would definitely have to be through filtering. Just remember that when you do filter, you have to filter for each board at one time. And also, please do remember that you can click Save Filters, such that you can, of course, every time opening this board, see the same kind of conditioning where you don't see the done tasks on here. So the person says, I currently can only sort by status or priority. I'd love to be able to sort by owner as well. So let's see what they mean. So here we've got a Kanban view of the board. The board looks like so. Simple, got a person column, status, and date. And if I go to my Kanban view, I can see the different items are sorted or categorized in terms of the statuses that they are on. Now, if I go to settings and if I had a priority column added to this, I would have seen status and priority, and I could have chosen between those two. So the person is now asking, I want to be able to see the Kanban such that I can see the items categorized but this time by different people. So in essence, they want to see the people's names on top of those cards. This can be done. It won't look like so, but it can be done easily, achieving effectively the same output, but displayed slightly differently. You'll see what I mean. If I click on the person icon here, and I click my own name, I'll see the items pertaining to me categorized by status. Effectively, that achieves the same aim. Just looks a bit different. On top here, I just wanted to let you know that you have this option to see the battery widget, where you can see all progress of your tasks accordingly. So if you click on the settings, the cog, you can already see there's show battery. I've currently displayed the new Kanban view, which is why it looks like this. Slightly different from the other one, but effectively just a slicker way of seeing the Kanban. With a new view, you can drag and drop the columns that you want to get displayed on each item in the cards here. And yeah, so that answers that question, hopefully. Our final question reads, hi, we're looking to pilot 100% communication through Monday. This means nothing in email and use Monday for all communication, both internally across departments and externally to suppliers. So yes, Monday has incredible communication capabilities, and yes, effectively you can use Monday for all of your internal external communication. Case in point, we've got this board here. Many would know that within items, you can expand them and you can add updates, comments, and make them as interesting as you would like to make them, adding numbers, bullets, checklists, and all that, adding emojis, GIFs, adding files, writing with AI. There's a lot of things you can do. On top of that, if you write the @ symbol, you can, of course, tag people and they'll get notified. Through this tag, you can tag everyone on the board, everyone assigned to this item through the person column here, everyone on the workspace, everyone on the account. On top of that, you can add a team that you get to choose who is part of this team. So if you go to your profile and you click on, you click on Teams here, you will have an Add Team button. All you need to do is to add the people on the account that you would like to be in this team and give a name to that team. So for example, I created a team for myself and Oliver, my colleague, and I called it Team Panda. So if I were to open up one of my items here and add Panda, here we go. I've got Panda, it's me and Oliver. So both of us will get the notifications as per this. You can also, of course, add Panda as the owner of an item. So 2 people as part of that team. The next thing is, of course, on the board, you can leave comments as you've seen, but you can also leave comments as part of a board discussion. So if you click on the little bubble icon, you'll be able to discuss generally on the board about the board, which is quite useful. Next, if you go to your dashboard, this dashboard is connected to my board here, board 1. I've added this widget. You click more and you look for a widget called I was mentioned, and it does like the name says. So it will show you all of the mentions that you are part of. And we can already see that here I've got 3 mentions in the past day, and I can click on each one of those and it will lead me direct to the item and the comment exactly where I was mentioned, and I can reply there. It's quite useful to have as a feature. And I can filter in the settings, and I can say only mentions where I have not replied to. And that will show me all of the items that I have not replied to. If you remember correctly, there were three items that were at 1 day ago that I was mentioned it. I had replied to one of those, but now I can see the 2 ones that I have not replied to. Similarly, if I go to settings, I can see only the mentions that are replies to my comments. Here, I have not had any replies to my comments, so I wouldn't see them in my on my widget here. Perfect. Of course, there are also automations on Monday, and if, for example, a task changes from anything to stuck, let's say status changes to stuck, I want the chief developer to know that I am stuck on it. And of course, you can make this notification as specific as you would like it to be. So here, for example, I can say, hey, this item is, and I'll select status. So just to say, hey, this item is stuck, it will automatically fill it in. Please review. And that's it. I'll add this automation. And as we can see, if I go to my second item here, I change it to stuck. I should then get, as the developer, get the notification from Monday, hey, item 2 is stuck, please review. You can add more details to the notification as well if you add more columns to specify more details about the items so that it shows directly on the automation here, the message that the person gets. So yeah, so it's a very, very interesting feature of Monday automations, very useful. The next item that I would like to cover here would be using a widget called I was mentioned. So here we got the dashboard, and that dashboard is connected to board 1. If I click add widget and I click more, I should be able to look for a widget called I was mentioned, and it says as it does look like. So it will show you all the items that you were mentioned in, tagged in. So here I can already see I got in the past day 3 items that I was tagged in, and I can click on each one and it will lead me direct to the message, and I can reply from there directly. Also, what I can do is to filter by going to the widget settings and click on only the mentions or the comments that I did not reply to. And from then on, it will show me. So if you remember, there were 3 items that I was tagged in for the last day, and now there's only 2 because I had replied to one of them. And now, if I clicked on only replies, I would be able to see all the items, in which case no item, that are replies. So very useful widget there. The next thing I wanted to touch upon is, of course, the emails and activities feature of Monday. So this, I know that in the question originally there was a clear sort of like message that, nothing to be done on email. And I guess that could really be satisfied by using this feature, emails and activities. So this is available on the Monday CRM product. So currently I'm on Monday Work Management. On Monday CRM, there is a feature that enables you to send out emails directly from items. And even if you were to send emails from your Gmail or Outlook account, it would automatically link back to that item. So for each item, you have a track record of all the emails that were sent out relating to that item. And I'll show you how this works. Here, I've got a simple template. Of course, just like Monday Work Management, there's a large variety of templates available through the Template Center. And here we've got a bunch of boards that interconnect. So we've got contacts, deals, leads, accounts, as well as a sales dashboard showing all the charts. The two ones that we'll be focusing on here are contacts and accounts, mostly accounts. So these are the companies that we deal with. These are our clients, it can be our suppliers, that sort of thing, external accounts. So here, when I open this up, Bindia is one of our clients here, as an example. And we've got two contacts associated with Bindia, got Madison and Phoenix. With emails and activities, through a one-click integration with my Gmail account, so of course this is native to Monday, just in one click you can be done with integrating your Gmail to this Monday CRM product. And here if I click new email and I click on Madison, bear in mind Madison is one of the contacts for this account as shown here. We've got Madison and Phoenix. If we click on new email, select Madison, and I say test, and I say hello. In fact, I can even use one of the templates here from Monday and say template 1 and fill it out. Here it's in German. It can be in meeting next week as well in English. That's fine. And put the subject up there. And if I can say, all right, send this to my client. I can even attach documents to this, just like you would on Gmail. Here you can already see the email would display here. You can already see as well when that email will get read. And if it was open in the first place, very useful. You can even reply to emails from here. And when you get a reply to this email, it will show here as a reply. So you can track all of the emails that are connected to this account in one place. Also, this allows you to email Madison or Phoenix from your Gmail or Outlook account, and it will still show on the emails and activities section of Monday, because Monday knows that these are your contacts. If I were to add somebody else as a contact, all I would have to do would be to type in their email address if they don't exist yet, or just write their name if they already do exist, and they will be automatically added through the pre-made automations to your account here. Sorry, to the contacts list here. Emails and activities also allows you to, of course, add activities. So that's the activities section of emails and activities. You can add, for example, meeting notes or a meeting, and it will just show as part of that track, that long track record of what's been going on with this account. So all the communications here. In one place, you can add a note and add an internal note for members to see, and it will display here. You can even select the date and all that for different activities. You can create custom activities as well. So for example, if I have, as a customer success manager, if I want to add a label called customer success activity, and it will have its own particular icon here. This I can just, for example, add that as a CSM, I had a meeting and these are my notes here, and it will show as part of this long list of emails and activities and records, all related to that one account in one place. On that note, I would like to thank you very much for attending the session, for watching this episode, and I hope you have learned a lot about Monday's capabilities, and I hope that all of the questions that we had looked at have been answered and that you have gained some additional insight. We'll see you at the next episode. Thank you very much.